Hi there, coming to you for this episode. Hi there, welcome back to Celebrating Culture. This episode is on the 1890s for the Sicilian immigration into New Orleans, Louisiana. Here you can see a marker down in Leeville, Louisiana. After the lynching, a lot of Sicilians decided they'd go down to the coast and become fishermen like they had done in Sicily. Yellow fever was down here, and you can see that talks about yellow fever here. This gentleman that bought this land, Joseph C. Piccioli, ended up dying 3 months after he bought it. I guess he knew with the yellow fever there was going to be trouble. That was 1905. But in 1893, there was a hurricane that came through here. It was devastating. One of the top 5 worst hurricanes to ever hit America. 2,000 people died. 500 of them were Sicilians. They ended up moving to Leeville from Caminada. And from Caminada, they ended up to Golden Meadow because each storm meant they thought they had to move further back north in Louisiana to Houma and back to New Orleans. That story is going to be told by a couple of people that story will be told by a lady we're going to hear this story from a lady whose ancestors went through that hurricane, and also from a gentleman that runs the library and museum of Golden Meadow. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. The story of the hurricane of 1893 will be told to us by a lady whose ancestors survived it. Also be told to us, the story of the hurricane of 1893 will be told to us by a woman whose ancestors survived that hurricane. And the gentleman in charge of the museum in Galliano who built a great display explaining the whole impact of the hurricane of 1893. One of the amazing things that come from that was a gentleman named Salvador Pizzotti owned an orange grove down in Buras, Louisiana. When the 14-foot tidal wave hit, when the 14-foot tidal surge hit, it destroyed everything and there was no warning. Places flooded. A gentleman named Paul Harris, who had taken a summer job working in this orange grove, went to work and saved and rescued many people, women and children especially. He later, 10 years later, Paul Harris founded Rotary Club International. Salvador Pizzotti, he went on to leave $70,000 both to St. Joseph's in New Orleans to build a school and to Mother Cabrini to build what is now Cabrini High School. At the time, it was an orphanage. And once Mother Cabrini learned of what Salvador Pizzotti had done, she went after him. Once Mother Cabrini learned what Salvador Pizzotti had done for the St. Joseph's School, she asked him to donate to her orphanage. And he did. That built Cabrini High School, which switched from being an orphanage in 1859 to being a high school in and that switched from being an orphanage in 1959 to being Cabrini School. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.